You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Perspective. And as we always introduce and start out, just kind of explaining the premise of our platform is right there in the name. Perspective is a safe place. It's a safe place to share your point of view, share your opinion, because we really believe that as a community, if we share our different points of views, share our lived experiences that may differ, it still may give some enlightenment, share a little bit of information, kind of raise your level of consciousness to see something from a different angle. And we think that's always good and brings people closer together as it pertains to understanding one another. So with that, we welcome you. We always appreciate you being here. And as you probably have noticed, those who have been with us before, we have a guest with us, Doc Latoya. Is not with us today. She had a very important event. You know, big people do big things. So we have a guest with us that we're really excited and really appreciate joining our platform today. I'm going to let Keisha kind of introduce him and give a little bit more insight, and then we'll let him kind of introduce himself, and then we can go from there.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. And like the intellect just said, Toy is out tonight. We miss you, girl. But tonight we have a special guest. We're going to be talking about child support. Is it wrong or right? And is it fair? Like as far as what the state does, as far as the absurd amounts, seemingly absurd amounts that are given to mothers for child support. So tonight we have a special guest. His name is Wayne. Wayne, we'd like to take this moment to welcome you, and we're going to give you a chance to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Hello. Thanks for having me. My name is Wayne. Originally from Shreveport, Louisiana. I've been here in Texas for about 22 years now.
You're
and that's pretty much me.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But you know, Louisiana is where the heart is, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, again, thank you, Wayne, for being on our show tonight. And again, tonight we're going to be touching on, like I said, the topic of child support. Now, when we came up with this topic, at first I'm thinking, okay, you know, I know a little bit, but I don't know anything from a male perspective. So tonight I'm going to kind of sit back and just listen, because I'm now learning new things. And just allow the gentleman, mainly our special guest, to share his story and what he's had to deal with as far as child support. And we welcome any comments, anything anyone has to say. Just keep in mind that we are being respectful of each other. If you don't agree, you don't have to say anything. But just make sure that we're being respectful of each other. So, Wayne, let's go ahead and get started with you. We're just going to jump right in. So, what is it that you can tell us from your perspective, as far as child support goes?
Well, my thing is just set the record straight. I don't see child support as being wrong. It's just make it fair. Make it fair. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, the premise of it is being fair. Fairness is what it is about.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And when you say fair, can you kind of touch on that a little bit? Like, what do you mean as far as fair?
Well, when the state allow women to dictate based off of a hurt or fair relationship, they can basically be like, hey, he did nothing for his kid. Hey, this, hey, that, he makes this, he makes that. and absolutely no proof of it. You know, I've seen it because I know my point. I know my own story. So therefore, basically, if you were to happen to miss the court, you know, you get default judgment. So you get what you call a default judgment. When you get the default judgment, that means that whatever she says goes. She can say you make $10,000 a month. If that's what the judge says, slam the gavel. You make $10,000 a month. Guess what? You got to pay two, three. Well, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $1,000 easily per month.
I didn't
There's
know
nothing
that.
you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, we have a Facebook.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we have a Facebook user. He says, I think it should be for absent fathers.
Right, definitely absent. I mean, because the thing of it is, like, when my thing was, I put myself on child support the very first time. I did it because I was a melodic dancer, and I am currently still a melodic dancer as well. But when I met my second kid's mother, I met her as a dancer. So therefore, you know, we combined households at the time. So of course, you know, I was making a little money, you know. So of course, what happens? She goes to court and say, you know, we have my kid, right? Let's go back. We have my kid. Then me and her split up after 6 months. We split up after 6 months. So of course, I knew that she wasn't gonna let me see my kid anymore because she said it before. I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna put myself on child support. So I goes down and put myself on child support, trying to do the right thing. So I go down and put myself on child support. Now, things that you don't know. So I went down and put myself on child support. I met with the mediator or whoever the person are that you get to see before the judge. So we went, me and her, before going to judge, before going for the mediator, we agreed upon $200 a month. That's what we agreed upon. But once she got in front of the negotiator, you know, of course, all things changed. But at that point, so what happens is, like I said, I was dancing and still currently. So I was dancing at the time, and she like, well, I don't want my daughter to be around your B's and H's and this here and that. So the lady like, well, you know, ma'am, he has just as much right to the kid as you. Well, if he gonna have my kids around all these B's and H's, I don't want child support. She dropped it, right? So me, my ignorance, you know, thinking like, oh, okay, well, cool, you know, maybe, you know, I dropped a bullet, you know, maybe I escaped a bullet or something like that. So basically, goes back. After that day, she took my daughter away from me. My daughter was 6 months old. She took her away from me. I didn't see her, no calls. She changed the telephone number. She changed emails, no contact. So during that time, I stopped dancing. I started selling cars. So 2 years gone by, no talking from my daughter, no nothing. Knock, knock, knock at the door. Constable comes serve me at my job. Boom, you on child support. Like, hold up, what's going on? So, mind you, not knowing, she worked for the child support division at this time. I didn't know. I ain't talked to her. So she was working for the child support division when they served me. Okay, so I get served. During that time, I got served, then I fell ill. I had a kidney transplant in 2014. So I got sick in 2009. So I got served in 2007, right? So me getting served in 2007, all this time, she comes back and like, hey, we get to court. The first time I show up to court, she's not there. Now I'm from Louisiana, and they can come serve me at my job. But when they go look for her, like, well, Miss Osborne, we can't find her. Now this time I was going through my kidney situation. So I had to have a kidney biopsy at this time. So the next day, well, basically the day I went to court, she wasn't there. When I had to come back, I had to have a kidney biopsy. So therefore I did not make the court date, right? So they have the court date without me there. That's when the default judgment comes about. Boom, default judgment. Now, mind you, I'm in the hospital. You know, I just had a whole kidney biopsy. I missed it. Next thing I know, I get served. You know, you get served in the mail. So story found out is that she went to the judge, showed him business cards, showed him flyers, showed him everything of me. She said that the judge said, okay, she said, I've seen it make $5,000 a month. That's what she saw. She said, I've seen it make $5,000 a month. And then she said that the judge said, well, Do you have proof? She didn't have any proof. All she had was a business card or whatever. She said the judge said, okay, well, here you go, $1,300 a month. Now the whole time, I wasn't even working. I wasn't dancing. I wasn't doing anything. I was trying to get not unemployment, but the sick pay, SSI or whatever it is. SSA, I think that's what they call it. But anyway, Social Security. I was trying to get Social Security at the time. So the whole time that she didn't know that, she thought I was still dancing. But she didn't care about it. She said she just remembered what she knew. Like, okay, he makes $5,000 a month, and judge say, okay, boom, $1,500. He's not here. Default judgment. He's a deadbeat. Here you go, $1,300 a month. So my ignorance, not knowing the law, not knowing what's going on, they give you in a fine print. They tell you you have 30 days to go back and say, hey, this is not right. I can't afford this. I can't pay this or whatever. You have 30 days, but it's in very, very, very small print. You can't see it. And it's in Latin. So therefore, with you not having any legal background, nothing about it. It'll skip you just like that. So of course, that's what happened to me. So from the word say go, she got $2,000 back she got $35,000 back in child support because she said that I wasn't there. Now, mind you, she took my daughter for 2 years, but she can go to court and like, hey, he haven't been there. He makes this, he makes that. Boom, boom, boom. 35 grand. So I was 35 grand in the hole from the word say go.
Yeah, in arrears.
In arrears. From the word say go. I was $35,000 in the hole from there. Right. No financial statements, no nothing. So that's what happened.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. I will.
Wow.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I have, was on child support. Paid child support. And paid a good amount. Like it really is celebratory when you get that stuff taken care of, but not knowing, and I know there's very different perspectives on that when it comes to child support. So I'll kind of start at the beginning on my perspective. I understand the need for it, but I would say the system is broken and it's not an effective system. Contrary to Wayne, and it's not really contrary to Wayne, but Wayne said it's not fair, and I definitely understand where he comes from. I just know that fair doesn't exist. Like to me, fair is something that's just made up because it's so subjective. Because it could be the same situation, same circumstances, two different people. They're one could say it's fair, or they feel like it's proper, and the other will be like it's unfair. So I never delve into that. And I got my own horror stories when it comes to child support. Definitely went a time where I wasn't allowed to see one of my daughters. I would say there was times where I wasn't allowed to see either one of my daughters, either one of my children. So I can definitely empathize with you on that. The hard part about that is that you really have to be, if you're a non-custodial parent, the thing I would say, the main takeaway is you have to be actively vigilant. You have to be involved. And even if you are involved, meaning show up to the court dates, tell them what your circumstances and situation is. You really have to become a lawyer. You really should get a lawyer, because you going in there by yourself really carries no weight in that. So there's different aspects, different verticals in which we could talk about child support. And as Wayne is kind of led into, it's really just we can talk about how a custodial parent can just go into court, and if you didn't get the letter, because before this technology, many times if you get notified, like you said, a constable will drop off paperwork. But if they can't find you and the court date comes, you go into court, guess what? If you're not there, they will make the default case, and then whatever they say, they will put it on you, and you're obligated to that, regardless of working, regardless if the amount that they put in there is like your whole check. Yes, they will garnish your whole check. So So we can think about this from an aspect of and then we can go into whether that's really benefiting the child. And then you have some aspects of the custodial parent now telling the non-custodial parent, well, if you don't pay, you can't see your child. I was told that before.
That's just sick. That's really sick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
yeah, you good.
That is really sick. You know, like when I did child support for my kids, they basically begged me to get back child support on their dad. I'm like, no, he's got to live too. You know, like, no, I'm not doing that. Even when our divorce was final and they were asking about child support, they was trying to raise the child support then. I'm like, no, what I get now is good. You don't have to take any money from him, but you don't want him to pay off your car? No. You don't want him to pay for this? No. You don't want him to do anything else for the kid? No. He's doing enough. You know, if it wasn't enough, like his mama said on Friday, we made it enough. Right. You know, because I mean, like he still got to live. And so like hearing these stories from y'all is like, I'm just in shock. Right. Like I had no idea.
Yeah,
that they would just take the word.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Or and I will say the custodial parents word. That's what I'm going to say.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
No, you're good. No, because now let's be honest. You know, it's in the 90 plus percentile that it's women that use.
Right. Yeah. We know. We know.
Yeah, even though the number is rising, where men are having their children and being the custodial parent, and then actually the mothers are actually being put on that. But we're going to go to some of our comments. The Facebook user, I'm not sure who that is, says, however, if you can, Facebook user, if you don't give StreamYard the permission, we can't see your profile. So you can just type in your name or your profile so we'll know who you are, excuse me. However, he said, I put myself on child support to be in my son's life so he wouldn't be a statistic growing up without a father. He said, I love my son very much, and it was the best decision I ever made in life. Understood. Definitely salute to you on that.
Yeah. He has that sounds like to me he has a understanding second parent, because if you don't have an understanding second parent, they don't care about nothing but the money. The money is the root of the whole situation. You know, my daughter's 16 years old now. This system is so destructive and terrible that I have a 16-year-old daughter. She don't want to have nothing to do with me, because she's been fed ever since she was 2 years old that your dad is this, your dad is that, your dad is this, your dad is that. He don't do nothing for you. He don't do this, blah, blah, blah. So therefore now once this kid get to a thinking age, like, okay, well, shoot, everything mom said was true, you know? So when I tell my side of the story, guess what? You talking about mama. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm paying out a shitload of money every month. I've lost places to live. I lost vehicles to drive, you know, went without eating, you know, went without this, went without that, because the other parent won't even help me to take care of our kid. You know, it's all about, hey, you know, you did this there, this is what you're going to get.
Oh yeah, you owe them. Basically.
Yeah.
You owe them.
You deserve everything you get. You deserve everything you get.
Yes.
I've heard that before.
I've heard you owe me that money.
You owe me. Yep.
That type of thing. So some of the comments, the end of the bench media. Good evening to you.
Hey,
appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here. Our Facebook user says system is very broken on both ends. I think HRF was covering me on that judgment when I was hanging up on what to call it, the default judgment. And Elevate Podcast. Hey, family.
Hey, Justin, CJ.
Absolutely. And then Elevate said, it's always them that benefit from the child support. Absolutely.
Who's them?
Talking about the custodial parent.
Custodial, right? Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
but no, listen. In my case, I was a non-custodial parent, so by default, it was their mothers. So if we refer to women Don't take it personal. We're really talking about the custodial parent. So it's not a personal attack. I will keep it because I do know some mothers who did not put their children on.
Shout out to those ladies. Shout out to those ladies. You know, shout out to those ladies. I mean, like you said, you have these guys, and it's a type of system that the good got to suffer with the bad. You know, so therefore, you know, every guy is looked at as a deadbeat. You know, I've been in court. I've been battling court for 12 years now. I've went out and bought a lawyer, but you know what? The trick of the thing is, you can pay $4,000 or $5,000 to this lawyer. Guess what? In the best interest of the child. It don't matter about you. It don't matter about your interests. All that matters is this is the best interest of the child. The lawyer is in the best interest of the child. The attorney general is in the best interest of the child. The judge is in the best interest of the child. Because I'm talking to the judge and he's looking straight at me like this. Like he ain't listening to what I'm saying. I mean, everything is the proof is in the pudding. Here is my bank, you know, here's my bank statements. Here is this, here is that. But when she talks, full attention, full cooperation to what she got going on, right? Everything I say, like yeah. When she talk, it's making sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I mean, what could you do? Could you could squeeze blood from a turnip? How could you bring this from this amount of income? You know, how could you pay $1,300 a month when you're making this small amount of money? You know, I gotta live, I gotta have a vehicle, I gotta eat, I gotta pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's all about being fair, you know. And the judges, because I've called and had several conversations with the attorney general, right? And what the judge told me the last time, he told me that why would you go to the attorney general? That's like going to the bank and asking for. It's like going to the bank and asking them to stop charging you fees, right? Because you're going to the bank. You're going to the wrong place. He said, well, you need to come to the judge. Okay, but when you come to the judge, it's going to cost me money that I don't have.
Right.
You know, then I had to go, you know, try these Fathers for Equal Rights and all these other people, you know, they got to get something out of it as well. But where does it benefit the man that's actually trying to live and actually trying to be in his kid's life and actually trying to do something for his kid and actually done something for his kids? But it's all blindsided. I've showed receipts of this, what I do, this, what I do. It's a gift. My child is my child. If I gave $150, I gave $200, I bought this party, I did that. That's a gift. It's not an extra. It's not a big woohoo. You know, you the father of the year. No, that's what you're supposed to do in their eyes. You know, in the eyes of the law, you're supposed to do these things, and that's true. You're supposed to do these things. But when you bring the court system in your business, that's when you have the outside influence of knowing what you need to do and how you need to do it.
It's definitely a broken system in that way. Let me see. Sports Life Production says, "Good evening, family. Good evening to you.
Good evening."
Here. Your lifestyle says your perspective on this will be based on what side of the coin you're on, and that's exactly right.
That's true.
We kind of addressed at the head of the show. We know this is going to be a hot button topic because there's going to be different lived experiences through that, because there's people on, you know, either side of that. And there even may be individuals who are the mothers or the fathers of the children who their grandchild is in the mix of this, and they have to deal with that. So, we know child support is a key.
Can I say something?
Aspect, especially within our community. Absolutely.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Two things. Wayne, I know you tell the truth about that, because when I had a review one time with my ex-husband, and it seemed like the lady just kept going up on his child support. And I'm like, ma'am, that's not why we're here. You know, I was actually trying to stop it that day. She kept going up. Every time he would say something, she was looking out the window. Like, and then when I would talk, I had her undivided attention.
Right.
That part I know is very, very true. And real quickly, I'm looking at the comments over here. Mr. Chief Rocker and the End of the Bench media, please don't do that. Going back and forth, calling each other's names and stuff like that. Please don't do that. Thank y'all.
Okay. And then next we have Sports Life Production says Gino Zapata was the Facebook user. So hello, Gino. Thank you for your commentary.
Thank you for your comments, Gino.
And so, what did you say about the comments?
Look at it, Chief Rocket. What's up, people? Hello, baby. Ben, and then hello, Alex. You see how he calling names, and then he below Alex Brandy, who says, "What's up, good people?" We got on here. H Rap. Don't start that tonight. This is for comments. Don't be calling people name and just hitting send. Thank you. Be blessed. But yeah. So back on this. I honestly, y'all, I promise I didn't know anything about this. Now I do know, like, my son was in a situation where he was going to be on child support. The young lady, he didn't sign a birth certificate. Thank God. And the young lady went to file child support on him, but she wanted him to sign a birth certificate. Turns out the baby wasn't even his. And so, he asked me about it. I'm like, nah, I don't think that baby is yours. So he went and did a paternity test, found out the baby wasn't his. So, I mean, like, I don't know. From a male perspective, let me ask y'all this, gentlemen. What if you are having doubts, what would make you sign the birth certificate? What would make you even be there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, while the child is birthed or anything. Now, I know my son wasn't there when the child was birthed. He just took her for her word. So, like, what would make you think that, okay, hey, I'm just gonna go by what she said, and then if you find out otherwise, you stuck sometime paying child support.
Right. Well, I can answer that. Kind of like what like my grandma said. My grandma said, if you did what it take to make one, then it's in your net, pretty much. So that's what you feel. You know what I mean? So if if he was out there, he doing the things that make babies, in the back of our head, you think like, okay, well, hey, it could be mine. But it's still a 50-50. I mean, it's a 50-50, But if you're doing the things that, to make a baby, they kind of put that in your head like, okay, well, maybe it could be my baby. You know what I mean? That's when the father instinct kicks in. Like, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna be a father. Every man wants to be a father. But I'll say no. I'm not gonna say that. Real men want to be a father. Some just want to be a daddy. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, it just happens that way sometimes.
Let's get to some of these. Some of the comments. I'm trying to make sure I'm not just going to all the name calling here, Tisha.
We'll start with Mr.
Alex
Brandon.
Brandy said, "What's up, good people?"
Hey, Alex.
What's going on, Alex? Larry Brandon says, "What's up, family? What's up to you?"
Hello.
And then your lifestyle, it says, "Unfortunately, not everyone involved can be mature." Man, that's a key statement.
True.
Which is a true issue. Lack of maturity. I think that's a really strong statement there, because even if, regardless if you get the state involved or get the government involved in your situation, still keeping a level head and being reasonable. Wayne named some things, and I know people from a different perspective may be, or a different side of the fence may be like, well, you a man, you're supposed to make it happen. Listen, we live in reality. If you make a certain amount, if whatever it is, you make a certain amount, then it's going to take a certain amount to live. It's going to take a certain amount for you to just maintain the life. It costs money just to have a job. So
it does.
If you don't even,
it sure does.
So if you're on the other side of that, you don't want to consider that for, and we're talking about, and I'm talking about, as Wayne said, I'm talking about men who want to be involved in their children's lives, men who, whether it was an accident, whether it was somebody they just met or somebody they was in love with madly, they want to be a part of their child's life. Might not want nothing to do with you, but that doesn't their child's life. Now, the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of custodial parents who are in their feelings and they use their children as a weapon. And I think using a child as a weapon is what damages children. It's traumatic, in a sense. Using them to belittle the other person, You know that you can hurt the non-custodial parent by dictating and manipulating how much you see them, when you see them, and what the quality of that relationship will be. And the fact that the system doesn't take that into consideration, doesn't have any parameters or any level setting to make sure that no one's being ostracized or taken advantage of. Because the system requires you to actually come put in a request, which has to be done by a lawyer, to go back to court to tell them that the custodial parent is not adhering to the judgment. you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna cost you to go back. It's gonna cost you more money to go back and fight it.
Does not cost the non-custodial parent, excuse me, does not cost the custodial parent a thing to get another case to say, let's check on how much money he's making. Now, correct me, someone in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think they have defaulted to say we will only do that every 3 years, because you know why
That's true.
had to make that ruling is because they were doing it so damn much. Because it was simply a money grab.
Definitely.
I can see that.
I'll make this statement and digress. The sad thing about child support, because of the individuals that many of the individuals, not all, nothing is it's not a myopic, but a monolith, excuse me. But many of them just use that as a money grab, has nothing to do with the children or the child.
Nothing at all. I've been there and I'm living it every day. You know, I'm living that lifestyle every day. And like I said, on the corner of that, you know, when you have a child, they've been taught this, your dad is this, your dad is this, he's this, is this. Soon that child's gonna get their own mind. You know, like I said, like I mentioned, I have a 16-year-old, soon to be 17-year-old daughter. So now that daughter don't want to have nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying out, like I said, I'm paying out a shitload of money for a kid that don't give a fuck about me. Excuse my French. You know, the mother, the child. And, you know, and it's unfair because when, you know, they're like, well, you should go get your kid. You should go get your kid. Okay, well, don't the kid have a say in this as well? I can't be like, hey, come on here with me. It's your time to stay with me. You know, what, make the kid hate you even more? You know, because that's what some people say. Well, you could have did more about seeing your kid. Okay, but how could I do that when the mama don't answer the phone? You know, she don't answer text message 3-4 days later. You know, hey, I want to get on my birthday. She answered 5 days later. I mean, what could you do? I'm not just gonna go pop up at her house, or I go pop at her house. Guess what? She can call the police on me. You know what I'm saying? It's a slippery slope.
I'll say this to you, Wayne. I'll say this to you, Wayne, because I can feel your pain on that one. I can feel your pain. Here's the thing. My children are now 26 and 24, respectively. You got to wait that out. It ain't no easy way to do a hard thing. You're just going to do this one hard. Here's the thing. Don't say nothing bad about the mama.
Right.
All the way until it breaks, you show effort. And I'm not even, and I don't care if someone can have a different view on this. I'm saying don't do what you can.
Right.
As much as you can and as often as you can within your ability to do it. Period. Nobody else gets to judge on that. Now, the thing is
very true.
Consistency in communicating with your daughter, because this is what I'm going to tell you, because it was told to me. You are going to have to save that baby one day. So just get yourself in position to do so when that time comes. Now, I'm going to be very vulnerable at this moment. There was a time with my youngest daughter, I didn't see her or talk to her from the age of 4 to 10. And I don't talk about it much because I get emotional. I had a nervous breakdown in the middle of church because I did not know where my daughter was, but I held it because, you know, as men, we're not allowed to show emotion or weakness or that we're faded by anything. So I'm carrying this pain. So what I would do, I pour all my love into my stepchildren at the time, and into my daughter that I would periodically have access to. So this is in December 2006. And so I call and I'm trying to get a hold of my oldest daughter's mother. And I ask her, can I see my daughter for Christmas? And I just want to, see her. Said no. We got plans and you can't have access to her. So I go back into the church and I'm ushering. And I can't let nothing go. I don't know why, or for whatever reason. And I've told some people probably, but not many people. It's definitely a lot on this, but I feel like it's necessary on this forum because I want those custodial parents, women or men, if you have a child and you know that other parent loves their child or want to have access to their child, you're wrong and you're causing damage, period. So I'm standing in this church and I have no idea. I'm like, okay, I can hold my cry. I can stay stoic. And this was an out-of-body experience. I was like, there ain't no way I'm finna cry in this church. I could not hold it. And I don't know, but a pain and a cry and a yell that I can't even explain came out from within me. The men of the church had to grab me and carry me into the pastor's study. And I cried so deep, so hard, and so loud that they all jumped back. And the pastor said, just let him, you got to leave him alone. Because they were trying to console me. He said, you gotta leave him alone. And it hurt so bad coming out. But I'm going to tell you, that child that I didn't know where she was, because you got to realize, if you're a woman and there is a man who wants to be a part of his child's life, and I'm going to be specific, as a daughter, because what used to run through my mind and torment me, my daughter's safe.
Yes, definitely. Is somebody touching her? Yeah,
Is
I know.
somebody molesting my child?
I know, brother.
Is she being beaten? Is she under a solid roof? What environment is she in? Is she enduring some type of trauma that won't be able to be corrected? Is her innocence being stolen? These things used to run through my mind for years.
Mine as well.
Years. And for whatever reason, I think it was something I had to go through, because at that time, I get that out. And in April, so that happened in December, April of the next year, well, that Wednesday, this happened on a Sunday, that next Wednesday, I go to Bible study, and Sister Chris, Ariel Chris, shout out to her. She in a better place right now. That woman looked at me and she said, baby, you're going to have to let that go. You're just going to have to let that go. This is what I mean when I talk about my philosophy of TBR. And the R stands for respect reality. Reality is there is nothing you can humanly do, because there are systems, circumstances in place that are just is. The woman I chose this is my fault. And I'll put that out there. I chose to be with that woman, have unprotected sex, and got her pregnant without properly evaluating her, being with her and understanding what type of person she would be and how she would respond in that circumstances. So I'll say this too, at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. Should have been pickier. At the end, back to the reality of things, it is us. So that April, I'm driving from work out of the blue with no warning. My grandmother calls me and says, Eric, Alexis just called here. I say, Alexis? With my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I say, she too young and she ain't got my number and ain't no way she could have called here. It was her mother. Now, I ain't seen her talk to her from 4 to 10. Okay? So I say, Mama. That's what I call my grandmother. Mama. You sure you? She say, well, it's her mother. I won't say her name.
Mm-hmm.
Not out of vengeance, just out of respect.
Respect, definitely.
And so she says they left a number. My grandmother gave me 11 numbers, y'all.
You're wondering.
11 numbers. I never proclaimed to be great at math, but I did some type of algebra. And on the third call, I put the right combination of numbers together, and that lady picked up that phone.
That's good.
Now, I tell you what, she gets on, and she immediately like, well, my ex-husband was he was it. Hey, where my baby? That's all I cared about.
That's all I need to know. Mm-hmm.
Got on the phone with my daughter, and I won't go through all the details, man. And so, but I'm leaving out a key point. When Sister Ariel, she was the first lady of the church. When she said you got to let that go, so I say, all right, y'all. I say, listen, and I'll never forget this. I was just by myself driving from work. I said, if I'm done, because I used to try to, I knew what her stepfather's name was. So I used to get on those people searches, try to find the address, try to find a number, just to send a letter, just to send a note, do whatever, just to find them, spending money, the little bit I could to get on services that you could get good information. Actually took a trip down there. Because when she was 4, had a conversation with her stepfather. Here's another caveat. He didn't want me around.
Yeah.
Told me, man, won't you just let me handle it? Won't you just sign your rights? I say, I tell you what.
Yeah, lost your mind.
I said, don't ever disrespect me with that question again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm down at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down at that point. That would so from a you think about it, or I get to get off the hook. No, I'm a down on that hook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm built different. What you talking to? Who you talking to? You ain't asked enough questions about me.
Right.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna get back on. I'm kind of all over the place, but go right ahead.
You're good. You made me think of something that happened with me. Y'all know I only have one boy. He's my firstborn. And when we were going through this whole child support situation, my ex-husband and his mother took my son and they hid him from me. So all this pain and searching and looking and everything that y'all are talking about, I've done that too. There were several opportunities that we had to meet up for me to get my son, and he would never show up. He would give me bogus addresses. I would go to these addresses, and he wouldn't be there. He had moved or something. And I remember my mom telling me, God rest her soul. I love my mom so much. She said every time he tells you to go somewhere, go, because you don't want it to seem like you didn't try and that you weren't there when your son. Your son does not need to know that you did not try or you were not there. Every time he asked me to go somewhere and he didn't show up, it happened so many times. And I would call the cops. They did nothing. He even took me to child support court to try to stop the child support from coming to me, which is another reason why one of the women in the office got mad at him. They was like, just because you took her son, took the child, does not mean child support stops. So he was pissed off about that too. And I didn't see my baby for like about 3 years. I would go to East Texas. I would go all over the place trying to find my baby. Could not find my baby. And one day, the day that I said I was not going to go, I called my mom and said, I'm not going because I'm sick of him shucking and jiving. That's not what I said. I'm like, sick of that. She goes, no, you need to go. Pack your girls up and y'all go. We sat out there for 2 hours. We were in Canton and looked up, and my baby was running towards me. And it was like, that was all, she was right. Like, don't be away when he finally does show up. So I knew exactly what y'all are talking about. And it hurts so bad. But now, that's my little buddy.
Right.
He's 27, he's 28 in a few days. That's my homie. So
Wayne,
it's like,
Wayne, I think this comment is for you. We're gonna go through the comments a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
Patricia said he doesn't have to say anything bad about her. That child will see the true colors for themselves. Absolutely. So Wayne, what she's saying is, and I can sing this song loudly. Just keep on living, brother. And like I said, be consistent with your daughter. Always be kind. Let her venom roll. Grow thick skin, because that's really being daddy. You got to take the heat. She's in an environment where one picture is being painted, and you just keep painting your picture, your true colors. Because when the time comes and she is around you, it may be by necessity or it may be by opportunity. Then she's going to be able to see and look. Then she'll be like, this ain't what you described to me. So you just practice being on the dad you want to be, giving the love that you want to give, so that when she's in your presence, you can just pour it on her. So thank you for that statement. That's a key element. Ben says it's immaturity putting a kid against their parent. Doesn't benefit anyone. Absolutely.
True. I mean, and my thing is, my thing is, like, once a kid get a certain age, I mean, from the brief conversation I had with the mother, she said she blocked you. She don't want to have nothing to do with you. So, it's, you know what I mean? It's just like a two-edged sword. You know what I mean? It's like,
don't matter, brother.
I promise you, I have a stack of when MySpace was big. So my daughter was born in 2006. So when MySpace was real hot and heavy. So I have emails of conversation of me and the mother having back and forth conversation. Like, we don't want you in our life. We don't need you. Leave us alone. This and that. This is what she's saying. This girl was 6 months old this time. So what I did, I talked to my oldest daughter. I have a 24-year-old daughter. She said, Dad, I don't think you should show her those emails. But I'm like, okay, I got to do something, because one part of my mind was like, what, is she too young? Or, it's just like, it hurts so much, it hurts so much. And it was like, I just got the emails. I gave it to my daughter. She read the emails, and I promise you, she went back and told her mama that I was talking about her. Now, these are emails from her mother's text page, from my text page. Me saying, why are you taking my daughter away? Why this? What could I sing this, that? What could I do this? What could I do this? We don't need you in our life. She don't want you. I don't want you. Right? So now
I got a question, Wayne. What did your daughter say when she was reading them to you? What did she say to you?
She at the time, because she was with me. She was with me that time. I mean, it was one of those rare occasions. She was with me, and I gave her the emails. So she read it. She didn't say much. So I didn't get any commentary back until she went home. So yes. So her mom called me. Hey, hey, so and so, don't you be doing this, and that. Don't be spreading lies about me, and talking to my kid about me. You putting kid in grown-ups' business. I'm like, hold up. I'm putting kid in grown-up business. Ain't that what you've been doing since age of 2? You know what I'm saying? And when I saw my daughter was calling another man daddy.
Oh,
it was.
You can't miss me. I'm sorry.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
By happenstance, you got the right one. It ain't much. It ain't much. I ain't there. I had to carry a load, brother. I'm in that boat, man. I'm in that boat. But I tell you what. How old was your daughter at the time you showed her the emails?
She was, I would say, maybe 13.
Yeah,
maybe 13.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'll tell you what, I didn't bring the truth out until the truth was brought to me. Like I never mentioned, I never talked about what, why me and your mother split up, why we weren't together. And I had a doozy. I'm just saying, it was a doozy.
Right.
Me too. Now, what I did talk to my daughter about is the decisions that I didn't make, things I think I could have done better, things that I wished I would have done correctly.
I admit it fault. I admit it my fault as well.
Yeah, and it just told her, man, I'm just happy I have you, that I have time with you, and I just want to make the most of it. You know what I'm saying? So that, and you still got some time because yours is still 16. That's still development, man. She still got a lot more living to do. And she's under her mother's roof. Oh yeah, just wait till that's over. You gotta wait.
Definitely.
Because it's gonna get counted every time. That's in her mind, that's who's gift giving, that's who's feeding her, that's where she's at.
Definitely.
Yeah, you might even go through hey, don't, because I didn't went off. Like I got tired, my soul got tired. I remember my mother passed away. She left me some money, and but the money got diverted. It got sent to child support.
Definitely.
Definitely. Man, I'm used to it. You can't miss me. I'm built for anything.
I get you.
Man, if they kill me, I'm gonna come back in 3 days. I'm fortified, bro.
Resurrection, baby.
Man, so
yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah, I said it, and I said it. I'll say it again. Me and him had a conversation about it. He told me I can do what he can do. He said I can do greater things. So I don't want nobody to come for me because I'm gonna give them all the smoke. I'm gonna give them all the smoke.
Yes,
anyway,
indeed.
But my point is, when you're gonna have to really just kind of wait the storm. You don't be the heavy. You really let them come to you and ask you questions.
Right.
What spurred my daughter on is that the more time she spent with me, and I was just doing what I would have done from day one, then she would be with her mother, then she would be with her dad, and she said, "This is not adding up." And it made her ask me, "What happened?" I said, "You want me to? Well, why you want? Because mama said you did B and C." I'm like, I could see where she feels like A or B, but I ain't do C. I'll give you my A.
Right.
This is what happened, and this is why I made that decision. And then I would give it it's a sandwich, good, some bad in the middle, and then end it with some good. Young, making decisions when our brains wasn't even fully formed yet. So don't hold that against her, and I hope you don't hold it against me. But we here now, and you got to just take it like that, man. It's about what you're gonna build once you get past that. I've had a daughter tell me, how dare you talk to my mama like that? That's the person that takes care
She's been taking care of me, right?
And feed me and whatnot. You ain't my daddy. I said, okay. And I said, very calm, I said, I'm your daddy. It ain't nothing nobody can do about it. I said, I love you. And if you need me, call me. And hung up. And I didn't talk to her for months. But guess what? Man, the truth is like a lion. You just open up the cage, it don't need to be defended. It will defend itself. So if you're doing right, man, don't even worry, bro. Just endure. The race is not given to the swift, but those who endure. In that case, just be a long distance run. I'm sorry, I got on the soapbox. We're gonna go to some comments real quick.
Okay, I was just fixing to say, let's do that. Let's get some comments. Mika says these types of conversations are much needed in our community to make sure we can help, guide, and lead each other. Very, very true. Very, very true. CJ says, what's good, CJ? Sorry, I'm going through. It's kind of fast. Want to make sure we get to everybody. What's good? I'm sorry. What up?
Hey, dog.
Hey, dog. And this comment right here. My ex took my son when he was 2 months old. Girl, oh, just so I understand, the worst moment in my life. It absolutely was the worst moment in my. But like, I guess I never looked at it from a male point of view. I guess sometimes when we take the kids, but honey, woo, when you take that child from a mama,
I can't imagine from a mother. I can't imagine a
oh,
mother that got, because I'm gonna be honest. That's something you carry. That's something you carry for the things you
you
go
talking about
through,
a
the
lot
connection. That's a
sleepless
whole other
nights.
level.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I hate that for you today, your lifestylist.
It was awful. Theodora, hey Theodora, I'm sorry I didn't speak to you the first time. Just go with it. Do what you're supposed to do. God will reveal the truth. The battle ain't yours, it's the Lord's.
Absolutely, Theodora.
Absolutely.
I'm not a betting man, Wayne, but I promise you.
And Wayne, they telling you the truth. It is something that you will have to wait out. Now that is the
you just gotta endure.
You got it.
I ain't talked to my daughter in 2 years. I ain't talked to her seeing in 2 years.
It's gonna come regardless. I'm telling you. Don't look at what it looked like. I'm telling you what it's gonna be like.
Yep, it's gonna come. Trust me on that.
I'm telling you.
Like I said, my son and me, we like this, and you can't drive a wedge between us. So
That's good.
I promise you, it's coming. It's definitely coming. Al, hi, hello. Time is love. True. Let me see. Doc, he loved what you said.
Oh, okay. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Al says, what's up, good people? Hello again. Let me see. And Theodora, never put the other parent down. Very true.
Agreed.
Yeah, please don't talk about the kids. That's true.
Hard,
it is hard.
I know it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's hard, but here's the deal: be harder. Don't do it.
You don't know.
No, but
how many times
when it gets to a point when your truth is talking about mama, that's when you have nothing else to say. You know what I'm saying? When you be like, okay, my side of the story is talking about mama. Her side is the truth. My side is talking about mama. But I'm like, I'm just telling you my side. So you
don't. We build different. We men. This is that. How come I can't think of the word right now? This is the it's not duality. Come on, Doc, you know what I'm trying to say. It's the dog. What's the word? Double standard. It's the double standard.
Mm-hmm.
That's there. Some gonna get leeway. They're gonna get access. We just talked about it. Being in court, they pay attention to the custodial parent and the mother. The non-custodial parent, we don't want to do where the money. That's all they want to talk about. So it's the same way in this situation. So you already know I'm just gonna have to hold it up. We got to be Atlas at this time. You got to hold the world up until it's time for the truth to come on out. It'll kill, destroy everything that needs to be done, and the light gonna shine through on what you do. But the thing is the building of it that you're doing now, staying patient, being diligent on showing love to your daughter. That's the most important thing. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna forget the mama because she gonna make sure you remember her.
Never forget it.
Any amount of dollar that come out your check gonna make me think about you. So let's keep it real. You're gonna think about her. And when I say forgive, what I really mean is you just heal up from the pain, man. Focus on what you got to do and what you want to do with your daughter, for your daughter. Be strategic. When she had her meaning, she said something, you just said, I love you. Send her something anonymously. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you said it.
Anonymously. It don't have to be for a special occasion, not a birthday. Just send something. I saw something that I would like for my daughter to have. It made me think of you. You got to do these things. Now, do it from the heart. I'm not trying to give tactics here. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Give tactics, but I'm telling you, she is going to heal her soul before she even know it's needed. And it's going to heal you too. Because when the time comes, you got to start breaking. You have to start chipping at the wall yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So you need to start chipping at the wall. So when the time comes, the dam will break real quick.
Oh, I love the way you put that. And also, before we go, I do want to say this. In child support court, when he tried to sue me and get custody of my son, he didn't try for the girls. He just wanted the boy.
Well, that's what, you know, I mean, think, you know, and it probably, he needed some time with his son anyway, you know, but it needed to be under certain circumstances. Y'all need to agree on that, and that need to be worked out right.
Agreed.
And so during the court proceedings, he had an attorney. I didn't have one. I didn't know I didn't know what to do. Okay, so I get to the court. We were in the city where he lived. We get to the court, and his attorney gave me these papers, and like what y'all was saying, to sign over your parental rights. That's what he was asking me to do. Sign over my parental rights to his mother, so I wouldn't have any other say so in whatever was going on. My son's like, you don't lost your mind. So I ripped the papers up and threw them at the attorney. And he's like, oh, so you want to take this to trial? You better believe it. You think I'm going to sign something? So we get in there, right? And all signs was pointing to him because I didn't know what I was doing. But I did know one thing. I saved every email, like you did, Wayne, every email, every text, everything, and presented it to the judge when he asked me to come on stand. Everything that was in those texts was my ex-husband saying, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to wrap my car around a tree and blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at a gun. I'm going to shoot myself and all this. And I gave it to the judge. I said, now, who in their right mind is going to give somebody like this custody of a child?
They give crackhead. Yeah, they give crackhead mama's kids. They give crackhead kids.
That day,
they give.
Call me a crackhead that day. Call me a crackhead that day. Because, honey, it worked in my favor.
That's good.
I'll be a crackhead.
No, I'm saying the system. The system does it all the time. I agree with you, but I'm just saying they do it all the time. Theodore said, "Amen." Say that, and then Theodore says, "Be patient and wait. All things will be revealed." Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Anything done in the dark will come to light. Might not be today or tomorrow, but it might be a year, and in your case, it might be a few years. It's gonna come to the light, or it could happen. Or it could happen yesterday. I'll tell you what. To give you an idea, what I said to the Most High that I went to Bible study that Wednesday. So during that week, I'm riding. I said, "Yeah, I let it go. I let this go." I said, if I don't see either one of my daughters until I'm in heaven, cool. I said, if I see them tomorrow and they say, "Daddy, I hate you. You ain't fight hard enough. You should have done more. I don't want nothing to do with you." I said, cool. I said, if they see me tomorrow and they like, "Daddy, I always thought about you. I missed you. I loved you. I wanted to see you. I'm so happy to see you." Cool. I said, if it's 20 years from now and then they see me, or I see them, and they say, "I hate it. I don't want nothing to do with you." Now you can't have nothing to do with your grandkids. You was a deadbeat. You ain't try hard enough. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I said, cool. And I said, if I see 20 years from now and they say, "I always thought about you, and I'm so glad to see you, and I love you, and I want you to meet your grandkids." I said, cool. I said, "Well, however you want this to go, I'm cool." So that was in December. My child, I got back in contact with my child and ain't never been disconnected from her 4 months later.
That's good.
In April. Now, I don't want to get all ooey and resurrection. You know, it was supposed to be in April and all that. I ain't doing all that, Easter and everything. I know some will. They probably, but that's how it happened. And I really let it go, Wayne. I just built myself up, and the time to be right till you're in. That's what I'm saying. You work on you, so when the time come, you got everything that she need. You'll have stuff she want and don't even know she need, and you'll be able to do it. So you can say yes, because eventually that child that I didn't see for 7 years. Can't start coming to spend the summer. Started off with a couple of weeks. She was like, I want to stay the whole. Can I stay? I'm staying the whole summer. Not to me, to her mama.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it was all of the breaks, November come, the school break is on a Thursday. I'm like, I'll be down, and it's a week. You got a week, for Thanksgiving. I'm like, okay, I'll be down there Saturday. Daddy, you sure you can't come on Thursday? Bro, I was getting. I'm gonna tell you, Wayne. I get off on a Thursday at 10, hit the road, drive to Houston, and I'm gonna pick that child up. I'm sleepy, but I'm on no dose and love.
I
You hear me? Drive out, get up in a few hours, because we're gonna get back 2, 3 in the morning. Get up and then go into work. It was worth it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, my best friend is that child. We laugh, we high side. I depend on that, man. That's my partner. But you couldn't. I didn't know. And I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that's gonna be you, man. You set up the foundation. That's gonna be you. If your heart pure and you love your child, man, that I said it. Damn, my mama. Damn, what she doing. Damn, what she saying.
Right.
It's all about what you gonna do, how you gonna do with yours, and that's your child. Because she gonna be grown at some point, so she needs to have bullet points of expression. She needs to see the patience. She needs to see the stoicness. She needs to see her daddy. This is what daddy look like. Regardless of what your mama say, man, I'm telling you, that'll get erased in a heartbeat. You can't ignore the truth. And I can share this so fervently because these are things that came out of my daughter's mouth. The older she got, the better she was able to express herself, the better she was able to decipher and take a look. Because she said, I was confused. So she went back to her mom and said, you said my daddy didn't love me.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
She said,
my Lord.
That ain't how he acting. She told me as a kid, she was like, why this dude loving on me like this? Because he was supposed to not care.
Not love him. Right.
Man, I just loved on my child like I would have done from day one. It took care of itself. She went and questioned her mama. And her mama said, oh, well, I didn't say he didn't love you. I said he left. And I left. Then ask her why I left. I ain't telling her. You got to tell her. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, bro. The truth, man, it'll drag out to the light. I don't have no skeletons in my closet. That's why I tell the truth from the beginning. That way I ain't got to hide. I ain't got to hide nothing. That's why I can talk bold because I done done it. I done been there. I done told it already. You can't tell it. So, man, let me get off my soapbox. I know we got comments. AI high. I'm gonna say AI high because it just sounds.
Is it AI?
It might be Al high.
Okay.
I think it's Al, right? So he said we also have to put money in the right perspective. Say money is a spirit. Money has an energy. People's true colors come out when there is money involved.
Definitely.
That's a word, because we see folks not care about the children based off their.
It's all about the money.
Man, absolutely. Theodora say, turn it over to the Lord. Period. I think that's how you say it.
Period.
Theodora said, you got to let it go. Yeah, man. Like anything with a mom, how wrong it is, guess what, bro? It is. It is gonna be, and that's just what it is. All you got to do is prepare yourself to just love on your daughter when you can, the best way you can, whether she want it or not.
Definitely.
It'll stack up. It'll build up, and I promise you, she won't her daddy. She just can't admit it right now because it's gonna take out her mama.
And she needs you too.
And that's where she lay down at. That's who she with. And regardless, she gonna love her mama. She gonna love her. She ain't gonna never not love her. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, have you had any evidence that your daughter's been mistreated or doesn't get anything?
Man, that's that's a whole nother story, man. I promise you. Oh man, it's gotten so ugly and so bad, man. I'm it's like you said, it's one of those real sensitive type things. But
Let's don't go into it on here. I'm just
yeah,
saying, if your daughter's
Yeah.
being abused or going through things like that, if
but
she
her mom,
is, no, I'm just saying, if she is, set a place for her to come. Just set it up. You just gotta start setting it up. I'm gonna tell you, the Most High will work in your favor. You just do the work on your end. I promise He'll work on it. You won't see the breakdown. You won't see the dam being weakened. It's not gonna look how you think it's gonna look. It's not gonna sound how you think it's gonna sound. It's not gonna come to you in the time period or the way you think it's gonna come, but it will. But you got to be doing your work on your side. Because like I was saying, that daughter that she just came visits, and to the point she like, nah, I need to be where you at on that Thursday. I get out at 5. I need to see you right after that. What's going on? It got to the point where they living with me. I wanted it from jump.
right?
I just desired it. Most High said, get yourself together.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, I brought it up because my daughter brought it up. So I brought it up to the mother. Mother, I can't. For some reason, she couldn't speak English anymore. Hung up the phone, which was about my expectation. But I'm gonna tell you what it did. Nothing. I just kept it cool. And I told my daughter, I said, "No, you think you want to live with me? You just come with me in the summers." I said, "It's fun time." I say, "I'm not gonna be like this when it comes to school and when we got curfews and stuff like that. Ain't gonna be movies and pools and parks and pictures." You know what I mean? So I level set, kept it kosher because I'm a parent first. It's gonna be rules. It's not gonna be fun. Now everything in my heart. Everything in my being, in my soul wanted my child with me, man. But I kept it, I had to keep it right. So I'm not gonna press. You do know it's not gonna be fun. Is this really what you want to do? Man, without me even having to try, I'm going to pick her up for Thanksgiving. She in high school. She going about 15.
Okay.
I get a call from the mother. When you come, she coming with you, and she ain't coming back. I'm gonna kill her.
I know it's gonna come one day.
I'm gonna tell this story. I'm gonna tell you what it did. I said, "Hey, calm down." I said, "You don't mean that. What are y'all arguing about?" She tell me something silly. I say, "Hey, you rest. You need to sleep. You need to just calm down. We'll talk about it later." Now I'm cool on the phone. Oh, but if y'all could see my spirit.
Right.
Okay.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Right on.
I said, slow down. Oh, they ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. Oh, they ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. And sure enough, I went down there. And I said, "Hey, are you sure?" I'm talking to my. Did your mother mention to you anything about you supposed to be staying? She say, "That's what she told me." I say, "Hey, call her." Call her and say, is this basically, I'm like, "Is this serious? Is this for real?" And it was. So I skipped into that school. I skipped it, signed that out. I'm skipped. 3 something, skipping, muscle bound, skipping. Went, hey, get all, hey, matter of fact, get what you can grab and let's go. Because he had built me and put me in, because I had done the work, put myself in position. And I'm going to use the word that my uncle used with me. Get yourself together, because you're going to have to save that baby one day. This was years ago, he told me that. So I did it. So when I got that call, it wasn't a jump, it wasn't a skip, it wasn't a worry, it wasn't a bump, Wayne. It was like, come on. I was with who I was supposed to be with. I was living where I was supposed to be living. I was making what I was supposed to be making. I was where I was supposed to be mentally, spiritually, so I could be the best for her.
Right.
And she is outstanding. She'll tell you, no, she date guys, she be like, you know, my dad's my best friend. That's my dude right there.
That's good stuff, man.
Man, I can't tell you, man. I get to shop without. I ain't gotta go to church or nothing. I shop right now. Just you hear
That's
me?
good stuff, man.
So I'm telling you that. So let me say it in this way. That's what awaits you. Just the preparation. But I'm gonna tell you the first key to that. Get rid of the hate. Get rid of the anger. And I know it's not that because you're sad. That's what it is. Because I'm saying this to the world. This hurts like nothing else.
Sure do. Yeah.
I remember, I don't know his name. He worked for the mob. They call him the Iceman. He was a prolific killer.
I've seen that one.
Even he cried about his kids. You hear me? So we talking about average men whose legacy is tied in to their children. And if that man is showing any interest and you are making it difficult, oh, you a low type of low. I said it. You a low type of low. What kind of heart or soul? How can you have a soul and do these things?
Oh, yeah.
Just because that man looking hard, when he say something mean to you, let me tell you something. If you ain't never been to therapy, and I sure hate Doc ain't here today because she would confirm this for you. Anger is a secondary emotion. The angrier you see a person, the sadder they are. They're hurt. They're not mad. They hurt. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I don't want to be the orchestrator of that type of hurt. I would say anybody who is doing that, yes, you're guilty, and you really need to check yourself. It annuls any other goodness you're doing. To inflict that type of emotional and soul-wrenching pain on another person. And nevertheless, the real person who's getting hit, and it's probably in the comments, is that child. They don't need to know the other side, who made them.
Exactly.
He may not be that good, but his grandmama or his brother or that child's auntie or uncle may be the one person that sparked their mind or introduced them to something so they could do something to change the world or change our lives. And you tripping because your feelings hurt. Stop it. You picked him.
That's true.
You laid down with him. Take accountability for that. So let's work together on that at the end of the day.
Y'all, this is so good. This is so good. But
we welcome you back. We'll forgive you if you change your ways and come on back. The doors of the church are open.
Oh, wow.
No, stop. Look, y'all, this is so good. But y'all don't be overtime.
I'm joking, but
look,
we did.
We gotta do this again.
We'll do this, Wayne.
We gotta do this again.
Wayne, I'll give you give him opportunity remarks, and Keisha as well.
Wayne, you can go first.
Well, ladies first.
Ladies first.
Oh, well, like I said, this has been very good. This has been eye-opening for even me. And I will hopefully, my daughters won't have to endure anything like this, or my son again. But this also helps me to know what to say to them and teach them how to act accordingly. So thank y'all for all the light bulb and aha moments that you gave tonight. I really appreciate it.
All right, Wayne.
I definitely appreciate you guys for giving me the opportunity to say some of this stuff. Because like I said, it gets deeper. You know what I'm saying? But I really really like the opportunity for this, you know, trying to bring awareness to it, because not all men are deadbeats. Not all men not want to have anything to do with their kids. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, I'm not against child support. I'm against unfair child support and being able to use it as a weapon to hurt and destroy the man and also the kid as well. So I thank y'all.
All right. I want to apologize to anyone if we didn't get to your comments. We're definitely far over time. But what I do want to say is thank you to our viewers for hanging in there, staying with us, your commentary. You've encouraged, you've educated, and you've informed. So thank you for sharing your point of view, your perspective, and your lived experiences. It's not a small thing. So we want to thank you for that. So as we wrap up, we want to thank you for joining the perspective. We're on here. Definitely share the word if you would. We're on here every Thursday at 8:30. So as you go, man, we send positivity to you. We send prosperity to you. We send protection to you. So as you go, just always live in truth. We want you to operate in balance. We want you to respect reality. And I promise that'll put you in the winner circle. So y'all have a great evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
All right, you as well. Bye-bye.
Don't hang up, Wayne.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.